Starting your own practice is hard for many chiropractors. It's riddled with both struggles and successes. But here at the Chiropractic Philanthropist, we make it easy by having chiropreneurs and entrepreneurs share their struggles and lessons learned in life and business so that you don't have to make the same mistakes. And now here's your host, Dr. Ed Osborne.
What is it that trips up your office? Finding new patients, retention, teaching about holistic wellness, or is it patients who can't seem to kick poor health practices? As a business owner, a wellness practitioner, a teacher, a mentor, often an emotional support, as chiropractors, we have a lot to carry. Let Mahalo Wellness carry some of the burden. Mahalo Wellness CBD oil products are the one small change that can change both your clinic revenue and jumpstart your patients' crave to begin healthier living. Try all Mahalo has to offer to determine what is receptive in your clinic. Special pricing on 10 bottle and 20 bottle bundles. Head to mahalowellness.com/collections/TCP-podcast today. Listeners, welcome to the TCP podcast. I have an incredible guest today, and that is actually Dr. Billy Chow. Doc, how you doing?
Hey, good, Dr. Ed. I'm so glad to be on this podcast. Like I've listened to this podcast, I think, from when you first started, when you first got it started, and so I'm excited. I'm really, really excited and really privileged to be on your podcast.
Yeah, and I'll start with a little story. So okay. I met you for the first time, though. Actually, the second time. Did I meet you in the Gold Coast when I was down? No, you were in Sydney.
No, yes, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. But I did meet you at Chiro Sushi in Vegas.
Yes, yeah, that was the first time. And that's the power. That's the power of social media, isn't it? You kind of feel that you connect with people, but you don't necessarily need to actually meet them in person. Yeah. But then when you do, it's sort of like, oh, wow. Yeah. You're a lot taller than I thought you were, or a lot shorter. Or
Yeah. I was just, I was like, man, this guy's got it going on. I mean, you're all dressed in the suit, you look the whole package. So I got a really great feel for who you were. And okay. So that's what I want you to do. I want you to actually, just who is Dr. Billy Chow? Just drop it on our listeners right now.
Okay. Well, so I'm a chiropractor. Even though I don't look like it, I've been a chiropractor now for 21 years. I've had multiple practices. I'm now no longer in practice. About 3 years ago, I sold all my practices. My wife's still a chiropractor, and she has a practice, and she's also a yoga teacher. And we have 3 kids, and we live in Australia. The other thing I've throughout my career, I've worked on boards. I've worked on, chiro associations. I'm currently a board director for the Australian Spinal Research Foundation, which does research, sort of vertebral sulluxation research for chiropractors. And my latest venture, which has been sort of in I guess in the process over a number of years, and that is I work with the Black Diamond Club. So I work with Sean Dill and Lacey Book out in the US. Yeah, so I run their Australian operations, so to say. Yeah.
Yeah, very cool. I mean, I've been following you for quite some time, and so you've always felt like it was really important to be involved, being a director in the Spinal Research Foundation, things like that. Is that something that you've always just been inspired to do?
Well, it's one of those things, Ed, that I fell into it. So very early on, it was one of those situations where, someone dragged me to a meeting and they said, you should come here. There's, we need some help. And then that kind of then led to one thing and then another thing. And then I felt as I think a lot of people do throughout their career, is that, I had an empty space. We interact with people, we want to take care of people in our office, but there was this emptiness that I felt that I wanted to do something else. I wanted to help our profession, obviously the broader public. So so that I got drawn into doing work with the Australian Chiropractic Association, and then also now with the Research Foundation.
Yeah, outstanding. And so one of the things we love to do is drop quotes, affirmations, essentially like an audio mem.
Okay. Yeah.
So do you have any words of meaning you'd like to drop on docs?
Yeah, well, I thought about this because obviously I've listened to you so often, and like throughout my life, we've all had so many different affirmations that we use, and then then some stick and some don't. But the one thing that sticks with me throughout my whole career is an old Charlie Ward thing that I heard him say years and years ago when I was a student, and that was, "This too shall pass." And I think that applies to my life, and I'm sure it applies to many others, and that is that we get bogged down with challenges and stresses and that kind of stuff. And I guess that's one thing that I always say, look, this too shall pass. And you know what? It does. It does pass. It doesn't necessarily mean that we don't get some injuries, or it doesn't mean that we don't get some stresses and some things that we have to deal with and go through. But as you would know, Ed, this too shall pass. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely, so I mean, I resonate with those words today. And
yeah.
It's very easy to kind of, isn't it, like to kind of get stuck in that moment of like, man, this, like the SHIT is going down right now. And not really know that, these things will work out. I think there's a lot of docs actually get really stuck, and then they stay stuck for like a long time.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And it's, and this is a great opportunity for us to chat, because, possibly not, I mean, we're going live out into the interwebs. Like, it's not a lot of people know this, and obviously they know about your health challenges. But about sort of 4 years ago, I started getting some massive pain in my joints and especially my hands and wrists. And to sort of obviously cut a long story short, I found out that I had an autoimmune sort of arthritic problem. So it kind of attacked my hands, my wrists, and my joints. And that was one of the main drives for me to stop practicing. So and it was hard, because I think that you always talk about some of the challenges that you have, and that you can overcome when you're in practice or when you're in business and life. And I fell in a hole, because I was defined by who I was as a chiropractor, not defined by who I was as Billy Chow. And that was the thing, because for 20 odd years, that I was on boards, I was a successful chiropractor and all that kind of stuff, and everyone knew me as a chiropractor. And then I was absolutely afraid to tell even my closest friends that I was, not going to be a chiropractor, or I had to stop, because of this, and that was one of the things that was a major challenge. But then, as you would obviously understand, that it was kind of working through that internal validation and acceptance versus external. Like, I was so worried about my external validation, but then I kind of worked in, and I thought, hey, as I said, like, it's this too shall pass. And I had to work on my internal value. I thought, that Billy Chow is not just a chiropractor, but he's other things as well. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And, do you think that that's like, it's kind of interesting. I'm just kind of mentally percolating on what you're saying. But do you think that's why, as a profession, it's like I see with a lot of chiropractors, because they have they define themselves as what they do, and what we do as chiropractors is such a big part of who we are.
Yeah.
I think that's why we all get in a little bit, like, if you get in a slump in practice, you just like, it feels like depressive almost. Like
it does. And I think, and it comes from, I think, like two parts, and that is the absolute defined sort of external definition of who you are. You kind of, you're a chiropractor, so therefore, through your patients and your clients and your community, that's who you are. Your family and friends, and then obviously your colleagues in the profession. But then, as we all know, our profession is very, very different, and and that's great that we're different. But that difference and that sort of quirkiness that we have can sometimes be our downfall, and that is that we, that we hold everyone to this, this truth and this, this philosophy, and that if we kind of step outside of it, if we go, hey, you're not a chiropractor, what like, you're not upholding our philosophy. And it wasn't until I sort of went and did some work on myself, and I obviously had some friends that were very supportive, that it was like, no, I mean, I still follow the philosophy of chiropractic. I still have a lifestyle, and my family and who I am, I'm still very much a chiropractor, and I practice that. It's just that I don't actually interface with people, on a day-to-day basis. And that's, yeah.
I mean, and that's something I struggled with for a long time too. It was, it's 3 years since I've had people like, Ed, could you adjust me? And I'm like, you probably want to get someone else to maybe do that. Because like even my kids, they're under care with a doc, because I just like, I'm like, hey, you know, my philosophy has always been like, be under regular care.
You've probably heard of the ChiroKeto.com revolutionary plug-and-play ketogenic lifestyle program. It's the perfect standalone or addition to any office weight loss program. Right now, get $200 off your office sign up with the discount code TCP2019. Go to ChiroKeto.com now and sign up.
Things like that. But one of the biggest questions, maybe you get this question too, is like, do you miss adjusting?
I do. It like, you know, and it's because my, like, you know, like this next part of my life, I'm still interacting with chiropractors, you know, and that's a question I get a lot of. And I do because it was, you know, like you would understand that, you know, there's no better sort of feeling when, you know, you're in your practice, in your office, and you've got people that are coming in and that they love who you are and they love what you do. And then, you know, you're able to provide, you know, that adjustment when needed. And it's, I do. Yeah. I mean, it's, look, I would say that I still work on it, because, you know, that's one of the things that I struggle with as well. Is like, gee, I would love to just get back in there, but, you know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and here's the thing is like, it's funny because like, you know, I know that you're helping a lot of doctors right now. Like you're basically, you know, almost like that ripple effect, right? That, you know, you help a doctor, they can help so many thousands more people. Help a doctor be more successful in practice. So I'm going to take, maybe unless you have another story of struggle, I'm going to take that one as a story of struggle. And I'm going to go right into, you know, let's go into something that's really cool. Cause I'll be honest with you. I don't know a lot about BDC, like Black Diamond. I probably know nothing about it. So, so fill me in, like, tell me, what is this all about and what's the hype?
All right, the hype. There is no hype.
Well, I'm telling you, like, I have a lot of respect for Sean Dill. Like Dr. Dill. Like honestly, when I see him, he owns, so like wherever I saw him in Cairo Sushi, like he walks in a room, like he owns the room. It's
he's got that swagger, hasn't he?
He does,
So he I believe he started the Black Diamond Club, I think maybe 6 or 7 years ago. And at our core, the Black Diamond Club is a group of over 500 people now, where we interface via like a membership. And then and that's where the power is actually. We've got a whole lot of people. I mean, obviously the majority are chiropractors. We are now moving into the space of service professionals. So we have, you know, we've got, you know, like, you know, like without name dropping, we've got some really cool people in BDC. We've got Prince EA, he is in BDC. You know, we've got Matthew Kimberley. We've got some really great guys that are in Black Diamond Club. And then on top of that is then the you know, one-on-one private coaching that we do. We have group coaching, which is called the IPO. And then there's other parts to it. So I run the marketing to the 90 program, and I'm not sure, you know, because after your presentation that year of Cairo Sushi, Tristan sold Cairo Sushi to Sean. So now Sean owns Cairo Sushi and then the summer camp. And then the latest thing that we've done, which has happened over the last, say, year and a half, is the launch of the $1 Billion Mission. So the $1 Billion Mission is to say it's a program is kind of understating it, but it is a program whereby it is a lead generation program that gets people to interface with the public, to bring them into their office via Facebook advertising, and then train them to actually get these people to stay and pay and be clients in the long term. So that's it. And so it's a $1 Billion Mission that's happening. And with that, we've teamed up with probably a friend that, you know, a person that you know through your ClickFunnels group, and that is Trey Llewellyn.
Well, I know Trey was in the inner circle, but I don't think we ever crossed paths. But that's
so
awesome.
There's a lot going on.
There's a lot going.
There's a lot going on.
But it was actually, it's interesting because, like, I mean, where was I? Oh, actually, it was my one-day intensive in Toronto. We were at the one-day intensive, and I was talking to a couple doctors, a couple of prominent people that are, you know, are the influencers in the profession. And we're all kind of like just chatting up about BDC, and just like, yeah, we're not really sure what it is, but it's like really cool. It sounds really amazing. So it's you got to get the down low on like, what is it and how are you helping docs? And I know for at least, a year, I've been hearing some incredible words. Not only is it helping doctors, but it's funny because I don't know a lot of people who over deliver, but I've heard that word also.
Oh, great. Well, that's coming from you. That's fantastic. It's, and we try, and that's what we try the hardest. And then one of our main mottos of the Black Diamond Club BDC is that there is no one right way to do things. And you would know, because you being in what you do and also interviewing with the hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people that you've interviewed, that there are multiple right ways or multiple ways to do something. And that's a thing that we try and stay away from. And like, we try and stay away from it's our way or the highway kind of thing, and we try and make sure we develop ourselves. We're constantly drawing from industries outside of chiropractic, because I think that's where some of the greatest learnings that we can provide for our members and for the people, and that is like drawing from other people, and other industries that we can actually apply to the practice of chiropractic, but also in the service-based industry. Yeah.
Outstanding. And so you are running one specific like domain of that.
Yeah. So, well, it's one of those things where I'm kind of helping the whole business, but I'm sort of the director of BDC Australia. So I look after all the Australian and the Asian people. it's only I can say that, can't I?
I guess so.
Yeah. But yeah. So Australia and Asia. I sort of work on building and developing that. I also run the marketing to the 90 programs, and that's like an online Zoom teleconference course that's run over 8 weeks, which in an essence shows people how to effectively and efficiently market to the 90% rather than just the 10% that we kind of keep dragging around for the last 120 years. And we do that. And then also through some of the experiences I've had with organizing events, I've also been one of the sort of helpers or the coordinators of summer camp. So
outstanding. So if a doc is listening right now and they're like, okay, I got to find out some more. What's a great place they can head to? What's the URL?
Well, they can go to blackdiamondclub.com. So blackdiamondclub.com. Or if they want to find out more about the $1 Billion Mission, once again, just go to billiondollarmission.com. And then you'll have that. So, or if they want to email me or have a question, they can either look me up on Facebook, I'm there, or just get me on billy@blackdiamondclub.com. So
perfect. Yeah. I'm not gonna. So I will post the links in the show notes. Yep. I'll post them also on the page. I'm not gonna put your email out there because you'll get spammed by all the spammers on the internet. So listeners, head over to thechiropracticphilanthropist.com. We'll have a webpage dedicated to our discussion with Dr. Billy Chow today, and we'll have all the links and resources he's providing as well. If you're listening on your mobile, open your show notes and the links will be right there. You can go right through your mobile right now and connect. Okay, let's head to the cheesy TCP time machine. You ready?
Yep. Yes, definitely. All right.
Here we go. So we're going to put you into the TCP time machine, Doc. We're going to send you back to a younger version of yourself. This is right after you came out of chiropractic college. You have all the knowledge and the experience that you have today. What would you say to that younger self?
Okay, I've rehearsed this in my head. Okay, there's two parts to it. First of all, I would tell the younger Billy Chow to take action, be decisive, and when opportunity knocks on your door, to take advantage of it. Okay, but having said that, I also believe solely on stopping and smelling the roses. There's that element of that. You got to hustle and you got to just jump in the trenches and you got to work till you die. And I think that obviously take action, be decisive, utilize opportunities and take advantage of opportunities, but also stop and smell the roses, because you've got other things to look at, to enjoy. You got family and life and friends and a beer.
That's awesome. I love that. So really just just take a breath.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll be honest with you. I had a moment this morning, so I lost it for about 20
Did
minutes.
you?
Oh yeah. I was just like,
That's
the
okay.
whole head,
Yeah.
fuck, I'm just,
Yeah.
why is nothing working? So, I mean, we're all about getting real here, but I mean, we all have those moments. So this is perfect advice.
Yeah.
And I'm all about taking massive action, but it is true. Just stop and just take a breath.
Yeah.
I like it. All right. Perfect. Okay. So let's do this. I mean, you've already dropped a couple of really cool resources, but let's go ahead and actually ask you for one more. So if we could say like something you're listening to, something you're reading, someone you're following, anyone at all that you think docs should go out and just, soak in right now.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I wouldn't I'd be doing my branded service if I didn't tell people to go and read None of Your Business. So None of Your Business, which is a book by Sean and Lacey. They've written a great book. It's listed on Amazon as one of the sort of bestsellers in the business and marketing division. It's on Amazon, None of Your Business. And for people that get the book, on the back of the book, there's a link and they actually get 3 months free of BDC. So, for your listeners and your viewers, if they get the book, jump onto page 149 and there's a link for that. And another thing that I've been using is, have you been using Shift? So Shift is an app where like you can have your Gmail and you can have all your accounts and everything just interface on one platform, which is I think is phenomenal. So rather than having everything all sort of like everywhere, so I've just recently subscribed to Shift, and that's for anyone that sort of wants to improve their productivity and trying to sort of make sure everything's in just one place. It's a pretty good program. There's a free, it's free, but then if you want to, I think, add social media things to it, like if you want to add your Facebook account or other accounts, then you got to pay, which it's still very, very cheap. Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Like literally I have, 20 some tabs open right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So is that what I'm solving with Shift?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, look, the tabs are still there. Like, it's still like you're still going to have stuff. So it doesn't kind of reduce the amount of stuff that you can get access to. But what it does do is it sort of makes it so that it's focused on one interface rather than you have to kind of like jump from one screen to another and that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Love it. Awesome. Perfect. Yeah. Awesome. Okay, so listeners, again, head over to thechiropracticphilanthropist.com, and we're going to have all the resources listed today, and all of the. Actually, I think what I'm going to do is print off the transcript for this one too. So we'll also have a transcript of our discussion today as well, and probably embed the video since we did.
Great.
I made you put a shirt on, and so do this.
I do have pants on, so so people out there, Dr. Ed was like texting me saying, "Hey, you ready now?" and that kind of stuff. And I said, "Is it just audio?" And he goes, "No, this one you have to wear your pants."
Well, we would never know, right? Unless you say
okay,
that. But,
exactly.
that actually did, short story, that actually did happen. Someone was in a bikini once when I did this. And
okay.
It was more, I was uncomfortable than anything, but
yeah.
So I want to thank you so much for being on the show today. I mean, this has been a really enjoyable conversation.
Thank you.
Your accent, dude. It's pretty cool. And anytime that I can help support you and help support the cause of helping more doctors be wildly successful, that's really what we're all about with TC. Mm-hmm. So thanks so much for giving back.
Perfect. Thanks very much for having me.
So you've heard the struggles, you've heard the successes, and this episode is done. But there's still so much more to come and so much more to learn. Head on over to thechiropracticphilanthropist.com and sign up for our newsletter, where you'll receive free practice building tips and strategies, including how to market your practice with your very own podcast and so much more. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time on The Chiropractic Philanthropist.